All right, now we are live. So, as usual, I'm your host, Wayne Fillmore, and I'm here with Brian, and we are here talking about philosophy, theology, and if other people want to drop in and talk, bring your own topic. All right, now we are live. So, here with Brian.
There's the 2-second delay right there. So, I don't know if you need headphones or anything, but I guess my big question, I can't hear you now. I might need to go watch the YouTube feed.
There we go. We're good.
Okay, we're good? Cool. So, do you want me to reiterate what I said, or do you want to start us off? Or
that would be that would be perfect. We were just for the people who are going like jump in and stuff like that. We were just talking.
Well, my viewpoint is you can take the Bible as a you can take the Bible as a book written by people of that time, communicating to people of that time. And if there's any conflict with science, I would say it's a non-issue because it's not meant to be a science book. So if they were communicating science and doing it incorrectly, it would be because they understood, they didn't have a full understanding of science, or what we have now found is closer to the truth via science. So I think the Bible does have science in it.
Well, yeah. So the science in the Bible, of course, isn't like any science that would like help out or you would be able to benefit from today. It's old science from like 4,000 years ago. So it has ancient science in it. It had the science that these people knew about at their time. Very primitive, very wrong. Which as a Christian, as somebody who studies the Old Testament and looks at the New Testament, they were wrong. And that's okay because science changes over time. But what I really would push Christians to not do is to try and read science into the text, or try and get science out of the text, and then go to people and say, see, the Bible spoke about this thousands of years ago. No, it didn't. So
I just ran into an individual. He had a sign like, science got it wrong, the Bible got it right. And it had things I'd never heard of before. Like the science says wind blows in cyclones, but science used to believe wind blows straight. And I asked him, I said, when did science ever say that wind only blows straight? Because you can see leaves like going in circles. People could see that probably in ancient times and observe that. And he said, Google it. That was his response when I questioned him. I said, when did science ever say this? And I really didn't like his apologetic. I think he knew that I was kind of gonna ask him deeper questions than, oh, you're right. But other things that was on his sign, like there's millions of stars in the sky. And I was like, well, you can, on a very, very clear night, you can look up and just see the pinpricks of stars in the sky. And I think people could observe that. Or that blood is the life of animals. And I'm like, well, if you see something bleed out and it dies, you kind of observe that. So I think a lot of these things are observable. And they weren't like strong theories like quantum theory, or I don't even think that you could say gravity. I don't even think gravity's in the Bible. I don't think we can even say gravity was theorized in the Bible.
No, they didn't know about stuff like gravity or trigonometric parallax or astrophysics. Like that stuff did not exist.
Yeah, you see, I'm all right with this, and I'm really glad you take this position. I'll mute myself too if that'll help with the conversation when I'm not speaking. But I think people need to stop saying that. I know what's his name, Australian gentleman. He does the what's his name? He's the banana guy. I can see his face. Oh, I can't believe I'm blanking on it. Ray Comfort. Yeah, Ray Comfort. He talks about like, oh, science. The Bible figured out all these things before science did. It's like, yeah, if you read it, it's interesting that the people of the time didn't like say like, hey, do you know what the Bible says? It's got this scientific theory in it, and like, check it out. Let's. They didn't figure it out until we figured it out. And then we said, oh, hey, we can kind of read the Bible as this. We can kind of conform it.
Which it's not for that. The Bible is not written to be a science book. Does it have scientific statements in it? I guess, but they're wrong. Like they thought that the earth was flat. They thought that hell was underneath our feet, and that's where we get this idea that hell is below and heaven is above us, and all of these things. You shouldn't read it as a science book. it's you can read it more as a historical document. It does record real historical events that did happen, but you should also keep in mind that it's written from the perspective of people who had certain presuppositions, they had certain biases, they had certain beliefs. And so some people say the Bible is a mythos, not to say that it's not true, but because the focal point of the Bible has, divine beings and, supernatural characters and stuff like that, there certainly are some, you could say, superstitions involved. The Bible is written by very superstitious people, people who had a certain set of beliefs. And that's pretty much it. It's written from the perspective of ancient Near Eastern people who, they really did, these events really did occur. Like take, for example, the flood account. I think the flood did happen, but not the way it's exactly written because there's so many other different accounts. They're all writing about a real flood event, and of course it wasn't a global flood, but it was most likely happened was
that was exactly what I was going to ask.
No, not a global flood, but it was a local, catastrophe that happened, and each civilization they all have their own theological interpretations of why it happened. So they're not disputing that the flood, in fact, happened or not. What you see in these different civilizations is they're arguing about the why, the theology behind it. We think it happened because of this guy. We think it happened because of that guy. So that's more what, the Bible is, or that's more of what it was written for. Is these ancient people giving a polemic for their beliefs against the other beliefs and why, out of all these different historical events, their beliefs make sense of it more. And so that's how I see the Bible. A lot of people send me to hell for that, but whatever.
I think what you said is very rational. I think, and to bring it back to the whole thing we talked about with the science, if the science in the Bible is right or the science in the Bible is wrong, it's moot. The Bible being right on science wouldn't mean it's the word of God, nor does the Bible being wrong on science if we take the viewpoint that these were people communicating to people of their time with the way they understood the word, because the divinity of Jesus, I think, is independent of the validity of the science in the Bible. And so I don't know why people come at it as like, hey, check out their science in the Bible, because I just think it gets you nowhere. If it's right or if it's wrong, it doesn't. And so, going to the flood, which was the next thing you brought up, I do agree with you that I think probably there was a flood. I mean, obviously there's been floods, but I have a hard time believing a global flood because the math and just the kind of the properties of water and what we'd be dealing with on the global scale of like the whole world being filled with water, like where would the water go? It has to, I mean, I think I've heard underground caverns as a theory. Like I've heard people defend the whole idea of a global flood. Like, where does the water go if it floods the whole world?
Well, what's funny to me is I don't think that the global flood interpretation even became like really popular until like the 1960s with Henry Morris and George McCready Price. So George McCready Price, he's the guy who you can credit for why most of the evangelical church today believes in the global flood interpretation. Before that, more Christians were more leaning to the local flood interpretation, which was more like, that was the more traditional view. And George McCready came along, Henry Morris came along, and they wrote in like 1960, 1980, somewhere around there, they wrote the Genesis flood book. And that got really popular, and a lot of Christians started buying into that. And then you have ICR, Answer in Genesis, all these, younger creationist ministries, and they're preaching that the flood was global and all this other stuff. So, but what I've noticed is a lot of these people, they have never heard of neither ancient Near Eastern cosmology, ancient Near Eastern studies. They don't know anything about not paleontology. It's the study of different civilizations. They don't know anything about that stuff. Archaeology. They don't know anything about archaeology. They just take whatever Ken Ham or Ray Comfort or whoever these people, they just take whatever, they give them and they just believe it. And me, myself, I'm an ex-younger creationist, so I wasn't too far from them. But what helped me get away from those beliefs is, of course, doing more scholarly research. But if you notice, if you ever go on AIG or ICR, they don't have any credible sources outside of themselves. If you go and you look for papers to confirm what they're saying outside of Answers in Genesis and stuff like that, you don't find any. All roads lead back to Answers in Genesis. I thought I found one when I was looking. I saw, I think this book or whatever might confirm what Answers in Genesis is saying, because I was looking for the history behind Younger creationism, and was it a traditional church view? And so I go and I look at one book, and I'm like, oh, this book, this guy who's supposed to be a historian, he's saying that Younger creationism was a traditional Christian belief. I go and I look up the author's name, and he's associated with Answers in Genesis. So I mean, it's bad. It is bad.
No, I think you're right that you really need, and it's something that gets trashed on, is the peer review process. And being involved with science, I can tell you that people are out there they really try to rip things apart. I mean, when you look at peer-reviewed papers, the idea is like to scrutinize and to rip things apart and to be very critical of every little, bit of it, because this is going to represent you, your field, your university. And if someone goes out and makes wild claims, well, you're kind of on the hook. And then you get people critiquing articles too. So if we have open debate, then science is a very well-regulated arena. And that's the way I see it. And when you say there's this microcosm of AIG, and I think AIG, Answers in Genesis being the big one, that just kind of self-regulates itself. Well, I mean, I'm trying to see how, because someone could say, well, Answers in Genesis self-regulates and science self-regulates, so why is that a bad thing? And I would say science has no agenda. There's no dogma in science. There's no Bible to science. It's just truth. But AIG, I think, really is like everything we put out has to validate the Bible. And I think that's where you get into the, I just don't trust it when someone says, well, whatever I'm working on has to come to this conclusion.
Yeah, well, what's even funnier is I don't think it's a science issue at all. I think the science, and like you said in the beginning, is irrelevant. They're fighting for a particular interpretation of the Bible, which is fairly new. This Younger creationism stuff is new. It came about in like the 1800s, but before that, like, Christians didn't care about stuff like that. It wasn't important. Like, okay, like, cool. Like, you think the earth is billions of years old. Life goes on. So, with Ken Ham and Ray Comfort, what they did is, I think they saw an opportunity to where they could give a solution and they can make money. That's what I think personally. I really don't think Ken Ham is genuine at all. Ray Comfort, maybe. Ken Ham, I don't like him.
Yeah, from what I've seen of Ray Comfort, he seems like a very nice person. Neither of them seem too abrasive or anything, but Ray Comfort, with the way he's treated people who've critiqued him, like the Bible Reloaded, he's been very charitable to them. His lawyers and stuff got a little too jumpy on them, but then he sent them like a care package, some nice pears and stuff. So he seems like a very nice guy, and it's. I think Ray Comfort is. I mean, I don't want to say anyone's a bad person, but I think if I met Ray Comfort, he'd be a nice guy. But I do dislike his films, like The Atheist Delusion. I'm trying to think what else. There's the one about evolution versus God. I think that's the other one, Atheist Delusion and Evolution versus God. And in those films, the worst thing, we got General Han Solo in here. So the worst things about Ray Comfort's films is the following, is he goes out and often finds people who are very little, not so science literate. And then he asks them big questions like, how can something come from nothing? And he wants them to talk about, either abiogenesis or abiogenesis. I've used to pronounce it wrong, and I still do. Abiogenesis, or he wants them to talk about the start of before the Big Bang, what came before the Big Bang. And he's asking really big questions to which the best answer is often, I don't know. And when these people can't answer, he just says, well, guess what? I've got an answer. And then we don't even get to see the full interviews a lot of times. So I think it's very dishonest. I know that's my only issue with Ray Comfort, is the going out, finding people who really don't know the topics well, and then going after them till, like, it's like, hey, look, random people don't understand these topics that are very deep.
Yeah, but the problem is with Ray Comfort and Ken Ham and all these other different younger creationist people. Number one, Ray Comfort and Ken Ham, I have no doubt they're millionaires off of this stuff. Once you start making millions of dollars off of this stuff, the answer doesn't matter. Because even what's the guy named Henry Morris, like the pioneer of the younger creationist ministry think tank. Even if he had doubts, it wouldn't matter because he's made so much money off of this. His livelihood is based off of this theology. If he were to actually find out the truth that the earth is not 6,000 years old or whatever, he wouldn't be able to tell his followers and not lose money. Once you have money on the line, stuff and state, you're much less likely to actually follow through with doing what is right. They very well may know that this stuff isn't true, but the answers don't matter because the money matters more. Um, but with that being said, too, I don't think the science is the issue at all. I think the issue is the interpretation of the Bible and how a lot of American Christians, or maybe Christians in general. I can only speak for American Christians because I'm in America. Jen, you probably might know more than I do, but when I speak to American Christians about interpreting the Bible and coming to the right conclusions as far as different interpretations of Scripture and stuff like that, there are actual rules when it comes to biblical exegesis, and a lot of Christians aren't familiar with it. I'll give you one really good example as far as the shape of the earth. So a lot of Christians think that you can go to the Bible where they pull up Isaiah 40:22 and they'll say, oh, the Bible says that the earth is round. And so I said, well, if you go a couple verses back to like Isaiah 20:11, Isaiah says he describes a ball. And then a couple verses later, he says that the earth is a circle. Now, are a circle and a ball the same thing? No, they're not. A circle is flat. A ball is a three-dimensional construct. So obviously, if he knew that the earth was round, how come he didn't use the same word? How come he didn't use the word ball? And they'll say, oh, well, it really doesn't matter because you know what he means. And I'm like, no, that's the problem. I know what he means, and I know a circle isn't a ball. So, I mean, did he get the science wrong? Did God get the science wrong? I mean, what's going on? And so I try and say, you know what, a better way at looking at this is um, how about we just say that yes, God did use people so they could write scripture, but God allowed these people to write the Bible through their own personalities with what they know. They didn't know anything about astrophysics, physics, cosmology, biology. They didn't know about the things we had today. And so what God does is, in the words of general, he lets evolution play out. And so God is in the mix doing there, somewhere
That's
maybe.
right.
Yeah, there you go. See, again. So God is in the mix somewhere within all this craziness, and he's letting the tape of life be played. So I don't see why Christians can't see it that way. I have no problem with it. But Christians just need for the Bible to be like this book where God just like comes out of the sky, or like I think people think when the ancient people are writing the Bible, they wake up in the morning, they see this bright flash of light coming down from the sky, and God just like possesses these people and causes these people to write every word in the Bible. And then it's like, all right, I'm done. And they wake up and they have a scroll in their hand and they're like, oh my gosh, what did I just write? Like, so it's really odd. Hey, Jim, what's up?
Hey man, just chilling here. It's a Sunday. It's like middle of Sunday in the afternoon, and yeah, I just saw you sent the link invite, so I was just wondering what's going on.
Yeah, just sitting here talking about Christians who think I'm an atheist, but I know I'm not an atheist. I just think they need to be
Okay.
more Christianly. It's weird because like so when I talk to people like my pastor, people at church, stuff like that, it's really odd trying to break this stuff down, but it's not really that
Wait, are
hard.
these Christians thinking you're an atheist, or atheists thinking you're an atheist?
Sometimes it's both.
Well, I'm here to clarify. This is on record. that since I'm Wayne's close friend, he's definitely a very good Christian.
Nobody's good but God, Jen.
See, there you go. The fact that he just said that, it's so theologically accurate.
Well, I think everything Wayne said was very rational. I'm probably going to pop out in a second here. I was just dropping in to say, hey, and I appreciate the cordial conversation. I mean, we could get into the divinity claim at another time, but everything you've said with science and the Bible and claims in the Bible and people's understanding at that time is purely rational, and I have no disagreement with everything you've said.
Hi, Brian. Nice to meet you as well.
Good to meet you, Moncello. I think it's who you are.
Yes, that's me, yeah.
Well, nice meeting you, and I'm popping out, and I'm sure I'll see you around the board some more.
See you, Brian.
See you guys. Thanks for the time.
Gotcha.
So, yes, Jen.
So what's up, man?
Every now and again, some Christians will think I'm an atheist. Oh, and we're live, by the way.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can invite some people if you want. You can invite, like, do you talk to, like, well, I was about to call them the PayPal people. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Discord, you mean?
Yeah, the Power Talk people. The PayPal people.
Yeah, let's spam the link in there, see if anyone joins in. My gosh, I haven't been on Hangouts in so long.
Jen, have you seen Infinity War yet? We can't give any spoilers because we're live, but have you seen it?
Yes, I have, and
I've
I
seen
hate
it 3 times now. I've seen it 3 times, and it's better. It's better with each time. If you haven't seen Infinity War, I don't know what you're waiting for. Way better than Black Panther. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know. Well, I guess it's been out long enough. I guess we can speak spoilers. I don't really care.
All right. So I'll give a warning. From this point on, if you haven't seen Infinity War, you might want to watch another video.
Yeah, stop. Pause the Hangout.
So go.
Here's my reaction. So when I was watching the first 5 minutes, like when Thor gets tormented by Thanos, I was jumping for joy to see Hulk just come out of nowhere and just take on Thanos. And then Hulk just gets his ass whooped. And and then Hulk is like a bloody pussy right throughout the movie. You have Bruce Banner, and this is something I never knew. I never knew Hulk and Banner are like totally different, like 2 minds in one body. I thought Bruce Banner is Hulk, not that there's some separate entity inside. So that's something new to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, while he was trying to change, I'm just like, somebody get this man a Viagra.
Or someone slap Black Widow so then he can rage. So that's the number one thing that frustrated me, is that Hulk was acting like a bloody pussy. Hulk would never cower down to anything, regardless if he loses or whatever. Then what else was there?
Iron Man, that fight between Thanos and Iron Man, it was good, but I think that it should have lasted a little longer. Like I'm talking about the fist fight, because they definitely did go like they were fighting, but they didn't start throwing hands until like a couple minutes after that, and they start really fighting. And I think, like, I don't know. I think they really did Tony Stark like bad, because he had the suit that could at least do some type of damage to Thanos.
Yeah, and you see, Thanos wants the 7 stones, right? So, or the 6 stones.
6.
So why doesn't Thanos get the 6 stones before the Avengers are even formed to begin with? Like, why, if that guy's been living for thousands of years, why didn't he?
Oh, so
before the first Iron Man film, why didn't he just go and get it?
He couldn't because Asgard was protecting Never Deville. I forget that name is really weird, but Asgard was protecting that place. And remember, Thanos went there first because he had a device made so he can actually control the Infinity Stones. Because remember, if you touch the Infinity Stones, you would die. Well, if you were mortal. So
Okay, so could he have got some stones at least in the meantime, or
he probably
the
could
hand
have.
glove wasn't made yet?
He probably could have, but his biggest so a lot of people don't know from the comics. Odin actually could have owned Thanos. There's something that Odin has control of the Odin Force. He has his own force named after him, and Odin has like Odin. He doesn't just control thunder. He has a number of different powers that he has.
So wait,
And
Odin is Thor's father.
yep.
Yeah.
And so the Odin Force, could have destroyed Thanos, but because Asgard was protecting the nine realms, that was
So why
keeping
didn't
them.
Odin go and destroy Thanos? Because in
Huh?
the future he's going to be a threat anyway.
Oh, well, it didn't happen yet. I don't think anybody knew about Thanos until like that event happened. Like he wasn't as well known. Well, I'm talking about in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he
Yeah.
wasn't that well known. But you see in the movie, it goes right to where Thor Ragnarok left off, where they're on that ship. But Asgard just got destroyed, and so Thanos probably is like, okay, Asgard is destroyed. Now I can finally put my plan in motion because Asgard was the one protecting the nine realms, and everybody knew if you mess with Asgard, you're gonna lose. So
Okay, now, uh, who's the green chick?
Gamora, dude, you haven't seen Guardians in the Galaxy?
Yeah, no. I don't even know their names. Wait, is it Gamora, right?
Yep, Gamora.
Okay. Now, there's a flashback where Thanos literally wipes out her entire race.
Yes, wasn't it? That reminded. Oh my gosh, Thanos was like an African warlord. I mean, he was vicious. Oh my gosh, that was bad. He was
So,
like Space Hitler. Space Hitler wipes out her family.
yeah, so surely then someone like Odin would have known about this catastrophe that happened, this like, uh, you know, this 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 terrorist act, and then someone would have come to their aid at least, or someone would have just come and destroyed Thanos at least.
Possibly. um.
Yeah. And anyway, so that I guess those are the petty questions I have, but my most serious questions would be something like, why didn't Doctor Strange, like in Thor Ragnarok, you see Doctor Strange throw Loki into a never-ending falling like dimension. Why didn't he just put Thanos in a never-ending falling dimension?
How come nobody was smart enough to think, hey, he can't snap his fingers if he doesn't have any fingers? I'm just saying.
Is this Hunter? Wait, what? Is this a troll account?
No, it's me, dude.
Okay.
It's,
You know,
it is.
Wayne was literally so close to booting you out. I could see it in his face.
Yeah, I'm actually on my college account, so
Okay.
yeah, I didn't even realize that until I popped up. And then when I typed in the little chat on the side, it only said me. I was like, oh, let's see what I can do with this. I'm about to go crazy.
Yeah, I'm just in fact Wayne is helping me understand. Wayne's doing a good job. He's explaining the Marvel
I'm
Cinematic
helping
Universe.
general understand the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Because
Oh
this stuff is,
man,
I'm acting like a grandfather in this. Like I just don't know what the
oh
hell's going on.
dude, I literally told everybody in the movie theater, stop talking. I need to gather myself. Not even joking, because of what happened.
Well, I
How much
hate the film. So here's
What?
you guys have to try and convince me to like this film. So
All right, let's go. Let's debate this. Let's go.
all right.
Why do you
So
hate it?
okay, let's go chronologically through the film. So the start of the film, Hulk is a bloody pussy. I mean, this is Hulk.
Do you
You
know
see,
why?
in the traditional Hulk films, like we're talking Arnold Schwarzenegger era, like in the 80s.
Right.
You see Hulk taking on a bear, like fearlessly. He just grabs the bear and chucks the bear in the air. And I think I sent you that GIF, didn't I? And it's just a tongue-in-cheek comment to say, even if he gets his ass whooped, he's still Hulk. Like he'll still, go after it regardless. He won't cower down. He won't tell Banner. And that's another thing. I didn't know that Hulk and Banner were two different entities. I thought Banner was Hulk. Like he transforms into this raging monster.
Do you see Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, I
see the
saw
last
Thor
Thor?
Ragnarok. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So remember, he was Hulk for 2 years, and yeah.
That's what I was gonna go to. Okay, so when it comes to Thor Ragnarok, do you remember when Thor and Hulk were arguing with each other, and Thor actually got underneath the skin of Hulk, like in an emotional, sad way, like he actually hurt his feelings?
Yeah.
Okay, so practically, from my understanding, because I've wondered this myself, the Hulk was actually in kind of like an emotional state, like tired of coming out kind of thing, because he didn't want to
Yeah, but that would emphasize that there's a split personality, or there's like some other person inside Banner. But I thought Banner, like it's the same brain. Like Banner's the one that transforms.
No, it's almost like they're Two-Face, like literally, like two total. It's like one body, two persons. Oh wait, it kind of sounds familiar.
Yeah, but that contradicts the first Avengers, because in the first Avengers, before he literally smashes that gigantic, like alien robot ship, like in the first Avengers, like when Hulk appears for the first time and he's like, Captain, I'm always angry, and then you see him just through his sheer will. So there's no like split personality there. He just does it. He just transforms and kicks that thing's ass. He just
He's not always angry, because if he was always angry, he would always be the Hulk.
no, but he himself said that. He said, my secret to staying like human and keeping it at that level is because I'm always angry. And then it's like floodgates. He then releases the floodgates, and then he transforms because he is angry.
I'd have to see it because I don't remember. Because I remember in like in the first Hulks, like the actual Hulk movie, not like the old Arnold, time period, but like the early 2000s when the Hulk came out again. And remember, he had to watch his heart rate, because just the speeding up of his heart rate triggered the Hulk. So he had to keep himself calm. He had to meditate a lot.
Right.
So, yeah. So to see, like, for him to say, like, I'm always angry, maybe, I don't know, that's like a way of saying, like, I'm always the Hulk. I don't know. But I have to watch that again just to see what you're talking about.
And then the second Avengers, which was Age of Ultron, it's still one and the same person. There's no split personality, because Hulk has to go to Black Widow in order to calm himself down just a little bit. And yeah, I mean, then you have that relationship tension that they had in that room, where Banner's like, look, technically this is impossible if we have kids, and then she admits she can't anyway. But the point is that it's the one and the same guy, and then you see him in this new Avengers film that he's just a split personality. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? So that's my first gripe with the film. The second gripe would be, let's see, chronologically, I'm trying to think. So I really liked. Okay, I think the positive after that Hulk scene would be Iron Man's nanotech. I thought that was really like very accurate from a science concept.
I don't like how they made his nanotech so like disorganized when he was, it's like it was to the point where his nanotech couldn't keep up with the fight, and I don't know. I just I think they definitely nerfed everybody. Like they nerfed their strength because like if the Hulk wasn't being like all scared and everything, I think he would have been somebody who would have definitely put up a better fight against Thanos. Then you have Thor, who has the Stormbreaker, and he gets a hit off of Thanos, and he's still alive, and he still snaps his fingers. It's like,
Well, okay, when you actually look at the scale of who's like the strongest beings in the Marvel universe, Thanos is actually number 8 specifically, and Thor is actually number 9. And do y'all know why Thanos
Where's Hulk?
Hulk is oh gosh, I'd
So
have
wait,
to look.
number 1 would be the strongest, right?
Yep. And do you know who the
So
strongest is?
It better not be Captain Marvel.
no, it would be
it's
like Adam Warlock, wouldn't it be Adam Warlock?
nope.
Really?
This is so easy. Come on. It's
Who the hell?
it is literally. No, hold on.
Is it,
Hold on.
wait,
It's Jesus Christ, all right. Jesus is the number 1 guy.
Actually, you actually think of it like this. It kind of is in a parallel kind of way. So, what is God called in the Old Testament? What's a name for him?
Yahweh.
Yahweh?
No, like he's called the Most
High.
Yeah. So in the Marvel universe, there's one that's called the One Above All. Literally, that's what the number
Tony
1
Stark.
person is. No, not Tony Stark.
That's what you'd like to say.
Heck no, Tony Stark could suck my. Never mind. I'm just playing. No, Tony Stark, he actually isn't that strong compared to all the other ones. But do y'all know why Thanos originally did it?
Wait, who's number 1? What's his name?
You talking about Death?
The number 1 is the One Above All.
Is that his name? The One Above All.
Yeah, that's the name, the One Above All.
Then where the hell is this guy?
Which one, Thanos?
No, this One Above All guy. Why can't he just go? You know what, guys? I'll just give you a break. You don't even need to have Shield and Avengers.
I can answer that. He doesn't deal in human affairs. That's why. That's his one thing.
Oh my
god.
This is just so petty.
Yep. You know what's funny though? In the Marvel universe,
you're making it worse.
Well, check it out though. Literally, I see theology all throughout the Marvel universe. You have the multi-dimensions. You have this great being that is the most powerful being in out of all the universes. Yet it doesn't affair or have any affair in human affairs. You literally have like the sort of like source of like power. So you have like what's equivalent to the 4 forces of the universe. You have, like it said in the Marvel universe, you have 5, which are now engraved in the stones. Like it's so crazy. Like you see so much. Like you see Stan Lee's theology throughout the entire movie, which is so funny. He believes in aliens. Obviously, he believes in the multiverse. He believes that if there is a God, he could exist, but he doesn't have any affairs in human history. Like,
so is he outside the universe? Did he pre-exist the universe?
That one I don't know. I have to see.
So basically the 6 stones are finite in nature, right? Or are they eternal?
Yeah. No, did you watch the movie? Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so when the dimensions were created, the Infinity Stones were created with it, right?
Okay, so that means the Infinity Stones are finite.
Yeah, they're
why they call infinity then?
They're infinity and powers because there's an actual being called infinity, which is also a finite being, but it's one of those like
a finite being with infinite power.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You can look this stuff up here. Let me send you a link.
This is ridiculous.
Let me send you the link. Let me try to see if I can find the right one. There we go. Strongest Marvel characters.
Oh gosh.
Vulcan, Cyclops, Odin, Hercules. Hold on, that's not right. 16.
All right, so when in Ragnarok, when Thor's father gives him this revelation that the hammer was actually a way of training him up to a certain level, and then when he passes his like training school, all that power is unleashed, and basically he himself is lightning. Like Thor is lightning,
Yeah,
and then that's what.
actually, crazy thing is, Thor originally could not live without his hammer. So the fact that the hammer got destroyed, that threw me off.
Right. So if Thor has now complete 100% unleash of his power, and especially you see it with that axe that he gets made that gets made
Yeah.
near the end of Infinity War.
Why did he need a hammer?
Why? Well, yeah, no. Why did he get his ass whooped at the start of the film? Why didn't he just go full blown lightning on Thanos at the start of the film?
That's what I was wondering at the very beginning. Because but then he needed a hammer afterwards. In order to even
Yeah,
get
but
to him.
what would a hammer? How would this material object that's just lifeless? How would this provide Thor with extra power? I
I
thought
don't know.
Thor it originates from Thor, not the hammer.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
No, but look, the Stormbreaker gets its power from the Bifrost, and the Bifrost is that really powerful rainbow-like force, like the Odin force. Remember, I was telling you about the Odin force. So that hammer, you could say, is very similar to Odin's Odin force power.
So you have Thor's unleashed lightning potential along with this Bifrost power.
Yes.
So okay. And that's what you see when he throws that thing, that axe at Thanos at the end. Basically, Thanos, along with the Infinity Stones, are trying to stop that hammer from, or that axe from hitting him. But
Yes.
the combination of Thor and that axe was such that it was still able to penetrate and stab him. So that's how
Yes,
powerful
because
that thing is.
it gets its power from the Bifrost. So that's why in the beginning, remember when they went to Never Devere and it was destroyed, and the guy said Asgard was supposed to protect us. So that's probably why Thanos didn't strike when Odin was alive, because Odin, he could get his power from the Odin force. But in the movie, they don't talk about the Odin force. They only talk about the Bifrost.
Oh, okay. Um, okay, next question. How the hell do mere human beings like Black Widow survive the onslaught that we see with those like raging alien dogs, and there's hundreds of thousands of them just running in.
Because it's a
Uh,
movie, and that's all
and
I can
she's able
say.
to, in fact, not only that, just before that, when they say Vision in like Sweden somewhere or like in Europe somewhere, she's able to kick him with such kick that alien with such force that those aliens are able to like fly across the room, and she's just a mere human.
Yeah, that's the power of Hollywood.
So because when I see Captain America, which it would make sense for him to do such a strong kick like that, because you see him kick them, and they go the same flying distance. So what did she get some sort of like special magic spell, like drink, that
Nope, it's just
made
the
her into
power of
super?
Hollywood. But an even better question I even have is, I don't think in the Avengers 4, I don't think in Infinity War Part 2, I don't think they're going to bring those characters back. I predict that the next Infinity War is going to take place probably like 10 years after everything.
Right, because I saw well, this wasn't me snooping around, it was just brought to my attention from friends that Tony Stark in Avengers 4 behind the scenes, like people taking photos of him, he apparently has like blonde hair,
Mm-hmm.
like blonde gray hair or something, which means he could have aged, or there's something. So yeah. Um Now, how the hell would my other complaint, my other human complaint would be who's the guy that flies around like a hawk? Like not Hawkeye, but the other one that has like wings.
Falcon.
Oh, Falcon, yeah. He's just some black guy. Not to be racist.
Oh my gosh.
He's just some black guy with the most ridiculous aerodynamics ever. Like that thing would not fly at all, ever. And he's able to do maneuvers that beat the Iron Man suit. He's literally the G-force levels that he's reaching in that thing is just it's impossible for him to move like that. So how is he able to move like that?
It's a movie. Yeah, it's a movie. We go to a movie so we can get stuck into this world where we don't have to worry about physics.
I mean, you might as well. I mean, the way that guy moves around and kicks and flies and shoots, and he has his little triangular like machine things that fly out from him, and or you might as well just send him and fight Thanos. I wouldn't be surprised if he won.
No, because Thanos would turn his wings into bubbles or something.
Probably. Okay, the other one would be when Tony Stark takes on Thanos. And you see Thanos like grab an entire planet in orbit and bring the planet down and crush Tony Stark, and he somehow survives.
It was a moon. It was a moon, not a planet.
Oh, like a moon, yeah.
A planet is a moon, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so that means Thanos has the stone that can manipulate matter for him to even do something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why, instead of just having that most pointless fight, why didn't he just turn them all into jelly or like spaghetti? And the fight wouldn't have even needed to take place. Like Tony Stark's all spaghetti, everyone's spaghetti there. Wait, I think you're muted. Oh, am I? Have I disconnected?
Are you talking to yourself?
I was just wondering where Wayne went.
Oh. I was watching a live video right now. Oh, God.
Did you hear my question?
No, what'd you ask?
So when Thanos is able to turn people into spaghetti and like crashing down moons and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It means he's using the reality stone, right? Is it called the reality stone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So he's using that reality stone to do that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So why didn't he just turn everyone, like Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, Spider-Man, all those guys, including, was it Quill, Star-Lord guy? All of them
Star-Lord
into spaghetti.
Yeah, that is all of his fault. All of his fault. Oh my gosh. Jackass.
Wayne, shut up. Let him finish.
No. That's my question. I mean, he
Star-Lord?
would not have needed to go through that fight and crash planets down. He could have just, here's my reality stone, Tony Stark. You're a spaghetti now. It's
you ever seen The Big Bang Theory, the TV show?
Yeah.
You remember the episode when the girlfriend was like completely ruining Indiana Jones for the dudes?
So I'm ruining it for you guys, aren't I?
I feel like you're being that chick right now. And I don't like it.
But it's true.
I don't
so
want to hear
stupid.
it. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, you don't. You're talking like a young creationist now. I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it. Because it makes me feel good, and what I don't need a guru telling
It makes you feel good.
I don't want a guru
I'm-
telling me how to look into the video,
Oh
so
my
precisely.
gosh.
I'm pretty well aware of my surroundings as it is. I don't need a guru telling me how to interpret the movie.
And why did? Okay, this may sound. I'll admit that this may be going a bit too far.
You're going too far
But
already.
why did Black Panther have a bloody boner just before they go and run and fight those
What?
aliens? Yeah, you see this massive bulge just it's
He's
sticking out like.
black, first of all.
But that doesn't mean you have to go and
It might have.
make sure that the
Guys,
camera literally
guys,
zooms out from his crotch.
Look, if you understand how the anatomy of a human being works, sometimes it doesn't mean you have a boner. Sometimes you're just built that way.
oh God, yes, the legend is true. Everything is big on black men but their penis.
Did you know walruses have the second largest penises in the world?
Who?
Walruses have the second largest penises in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So then, what species has the largest?
I do.
Okay.
I was waiting on it. That was just all
Yeah,
for that right there.
That was a good one. That was a good save. Yeah, that's a petty one. That's something I noticed. Like literally, the camera was zooming out of his crotch, and I was just thinking to myself.
What the crap?
I mean, I was nearly swearing. I was like, for F's sake, just.
Who did you go with to go see that movie with? First of all,
I went by myself.
Oh, I hate that.
But the cinema was crowded, like it was packed. Then I started. Oh, that's another thing. I started seeing all these people started crying, and I'm just thinking to myself, Spider-Man's coming back. There's no emotional weight to any of this.
That's what you think.
Well, the next Spider-Man film is a sequel to this.
That's what you think.
But they said it's a sequel to this.
Shut up! Don't ruin it.
Okay.
You're ruining the next one for me already. I'm just kidding. Hold on one second. I had to put a shirt on. All right, wait. There we go. Better?
All right, there you are.
Whoop, whoop.
There's the Hunter Bailey.
Yeah, I got so many different mics. I got this one. I got my.
Oh wow, you bought yourself a new headphone, kind of like me. Yeah.
Well, I've had this one.
Is that Logitech?
No, it's a Yeti. Blue Yeti.
And your headphones are what?
My professional ones. These are my gamer headset right here, but what I have for my professional one is this.
Okay.
So, for whenever we're doing we're doing an interview with Hugh Ross, something like that, I use the professional one. This one, this is just for whatever.
Right.
It's from a PS4. I'm a PS4 guy.
Okay.
So, yep.
Okay, so. What else is there in the stupid abomination?
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You're full of crap. You're blaspheming. You don't. I should sound like it. I do sound like a YEC.
Okay, who's more powerful than who's more powerful, Thanos or Star-Lord's father?
Star-Lord's father.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So how the hell?
You know why? Actually, if you look in the comic books, it actually says that Thanos was waiting for Odin and Star-Lord's father. Also, what's the guy in Doctor Strange that he went up against? That big, huge dimension dude.
Oh, I didn't. I kind of walked out.
It's
I didn't fully finish Doctor Strange.
You walked out on Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Because I was just looking at the sun, going to myself, "This is ridiculous."
You haven't seen Doctor Strange, dude?
No, he walked out on it.
Yeah.
You're not a fan. You are not a fan.
After I saw him, like stuck on some
Doctor-
like snow place. Like I don't know. That's probably the first quarter of the film. I just walked out.
Oh
Doctor
my
Strange is
gosh.
based on Christian theology, dude.
Where'd you get that from?
It's true. The guy who produced the Doctor Strange movie, he went to a Christian college.
So that doesn't mean it was based on Christianity. That was the farthest from Christianity.
Well, it's based loosely on Christian theology. The he's a hardcore atheist. He doesn't believe in anything outside of this materialistic world. He changes
Yeah,
his mind. Come on.
Wayne has a point. Yeah.
Wayne has a what?
He has a point. Yeah, that's something I
I'm
was
right
noticing.
because I'm always right. Duh. I'm awesome.
I think that's stretching it a little bit. Just me
What?
though. Saying that is based on like Christianity and all that. I think that's stretching it because there is no. I didn't see, like, I see how the guy.
I think what Wayne's trying to get at is the whole empirical method, scientific natural like methodological naturalism was just
that okay. I can
smashed
see
in the
that.
face.
That I can see, but to straight up say Christianity,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being.
Um.
But
Okay,
what I was
Hunter.
gonna say,
So then
well,
how the hell is Black Widow able to kick those female aliens that are like twice her height, as strong as Hulk, and she's able to like literally kick them, and they go flying across the room when they save a Vision, and also fight them again at the end.
they're not invincible. Like they can, like if the woman can hit, she can hit.
Yeah, but Black Widow is a human being.
So is
that
Captain
takes
America.
someone like no, but Captain America is a superhuman guy.
Well, maybe
at least I'd be.
Black. Do you know who Black Widow is? She's a super freak.
She's not a superhuman though.
She's a super freak though.
She's just some woman that got her uterus taken out.
What?
Yeah.
Got a uterus.
Like that's
what the crap?
That's what she tells Hulk.
Oh, that part. I forgot about that.
Yeah, look at this. See, I know this stuff more than you.
Oh, bull crap. I forgot about that. What was I gonna? Oh, by the way, so Thanos was waiting on 3 specific beings to go away: Odin, Star-Lord's father, and the guy or the dimensional evil being that Doctor Strange faces at the end. Wayne, what's his name?
Dormammu.
Dormammu.
Dormammu. Dormammu.
Yeah. So Thanos was actually waiting on all of them to either be defeated or to go away because they were a legitimate force to reckon with. Thanos, the reason why he actually destroyed half of the universe's population was to please Death, who is an actual woman entity that he is deeply in love with. That was the original.
You mean Thor's sister in the movies? Thor's sister because she's the goddess of death. Get it?
Oh, wait, no.
But she's dead though, right?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that was her. Is that her? No, because her name was actually Death, though.
Yeah, but the MCU changed stuff.
Yeah. Who's more powerful, Thor's sister in Ragnarok or Thanos?
If Wayne is saying who she is, then Death would be more powerful.
Yeah, she'll be way. Oh my god!
But why? But you would think that she would go after a guy that's stronger than her, not some weakling guy like.
No,
Thanos. Wayne, do you want to do it?
Well, in the comics, what happened was Thanos is a simp. She doesn't really care about Thanos. She just like she sees him as some guy who can do what she can do.
Oh, okay. So she can make Thanos her pussy guy then, basically.
Yes,
like Hulk.
Yes, he's a whip. Yes, he's whip.
To be honest, I'd rather see Hulk take her on than Thanos. Thanos is just overpowered.
Yeah, pretty much. And so what happened in the comic was
overkill. Literally.
What happened in the comics was he got all the Infinity Stones and he told her, and he thought that was going to win her love, and she just doesn't pay him any mind. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's nice," and so he goes out on the ledge of this balcony in space, and he raises the gauntlet, and he snaps his fingers, and that is what gets her attention, but it doesn't. I mean, she still wants more out of him. She still wants more.
So the death of the universe gives her like some form of like turn on, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, you're such a turn on now."
Look at how many people you kill in one snap of your finger.
Oh my gosh. So then what? It's like, okay, he kills half the universe.
So
Then
he
what
kills
happens after that?
he kills half the universe, and so you remember Nebula, the Blue Daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Thanos puts the gauntlet down for a minute. Nebula sneaks up behind him. She steals the gauntlet from him, and she reverses everything back to normal.
Oh, and does she kill Thanos?
I don't know. I didn't read that far. But
Okay.
I do know in another comic, Nebula goes back. This is another universe. Like this is like another, you could say, like standalone comic. And that in that version, Nebula goes back in time, and she gets old Thanos to kill new Thanos. Then in another version,
Oh my
uh,
gosh.
in another
Ah,
version,
the
in
psychological
another
strain
version,
these people have to go through.
so in another universe, Thanos actually was killed by a guy named Adam Warlock. Now, Adam Warlock is a genetically perfect human, and yeah, Adam Warlock kills Thanos. And then in
Wait,
one last universe, huh?
have you seen him in the movies before? This
No,
Adam
he's not.
Warlock guy?
He's not in the MCU yet.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna put him in there anyway.
But
By the
he's a
way,
genetically
by the way,
modified human, you're saying?
hey, real
genetically
quick.
perfect.
Hey,
Or
do you guys
genetically perfect?
have you guys seen Men in Black 3?
No.
Yes.
Wait, Rob,
Yep.
you never seen Men in Black 3?
I've only seen the first two.
Oh, you are killing me, dude. Okay, watch Men in Black 3. Wayne, do you realize any in the similarity between something in Men in Black 3 and Infinity Wars? You realize anything?
I remember how at the end of the movie,
No, it
Will
has
Smith.
nothing to do with the actual movies. It has something to do with more of the characters.
Couldn't tell you.
All I like from Men in Black is the dog.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh,
The
the pug.
the pug.
Are you
Yeah.
talking about? Are you talking about K? Oh, Josh Brolin.
What about him?
He's in both. He's in Men in Black 3. And he's in Infinity War.
Where is he? Are you looking it up? You're Googling it.
No, I'm not. I just remember Josh Brolin is in everything. Come on, man.
Okay,
He's in Deadpool.
who is he in Infinity Wars?
He's Thanos.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. I
Wait,
was about to say-
I don't even see the relevance of.
If you watch Men in Black 3, they go back in time, right? Or at least Jay does. When Jay goes back in time, he meets the younger K. The guy who plays the younger K is Thanos in Infinity
Misty's
War.
in the room.
Oh, okay. Hey, any of you guys know Minty?
Yeah.
Huh?
Cool.
What?
You just missed the
Oh,
whole
hi,
conversation.
Minty. I thought it was Misty.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
So, Minty, are you familiar with this Infinity War abomination?
I'm out of here. Never been so mad in my life.
All right. So keep explaining to me. So,
I'm just
okay.
kidding.
So,
wait.
predictions for
So this is the last thing that happened to Thanos in the comics. You
Okay.
guys know Drax? So in one of the versions of the comics, Drax actually kills Thanos. He sneaks up behind him and he rips out his heart.
So, what should we expect to the best of your ability? What should we expect, like predictions as far as the last Avengers film? Like, is Tony Stark going to actually legit die?
So some people actually did die. but the people who we see who disintegrate, they are trapped in the soul world. And actually, one of the Russo brothers actually confirmed this yesterday. They went to a high school, and one of the high school kids had asked them a question, and the Russo brothers actually confirmed one of the theories that Marvel fans have been thinking. Um, Gamora actually isn't dead. Gamora is trapped inside of the Soul Stone. And so, what we're going to see in the next movie, most likely, is Thanos is going to be dealing with his own demons as far as killing Gamora. And so I think either Thanos is going to have to undo what he did, or I think we're going to see Ant-Man, and Ant-Man might be able to go into like the quantum realm and try and fix space and time that way.
But in order for that to happen, you would need someone like Doctor Strange, which, by the way, he doesn't exist anymore because he went into dust. And
Or all you need is somebody like Iron Man, and Iron Man can make a
yeah.
suit that can harness the power of the Infinity Stone. Remember Iron Man 2? Iron Man made a new element.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet if they did something like that. I would definitely back something like that.
But they're probably not. They're probably gonna do something corny. I'm gonna have to email the Russo brothers.
No, that's a sweet idea. I like that. Like,
because
Ant-Man.
why make a new element in Iron Man 2? And like we didn't even really know like what the element was specifically. They didn't go into detail.
Yeah.
So yeah. But no, I could definitely see Ant-Man somehow being like a key player. But I know Tony Stark is going to be a key player, and it's going to be something to do with like his suits.
Okay, that's the thing though. I don't think he can get any more technologically advanced because first and foremost, he's stuck on that planet.
Yeah.
And so all the suits he does have is that nanotech, which I think would be, as far as I can tell, is the best he can ever make it. Like, I think that's it. They can't get any better than that.
Remember, he's not stuck on the planet because Nebula actually came to that planet on a ship, so he could always like get a ride home from Nebula or something like that.
Oh, okay. As long as the ship's not destroyed.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, I guarantee you, when the next Avengers comes out, it's going to take place about 10 years later, and they're not going like we're like how Tony Stark got home. We don't know. All we know is it's going to start probably with Tony Stark at home, depressed and something like that, and he's going to be he's going to be trying to figure out a way on how he can reverse time or try and make things go back to normal. Another thing they could do is Doctor Strange is dead. I was gonna say I was gonna say they could go to another universe or something like that, another multiverse. But what's probably gonna happen is they're probably gonna have to go into the soul stone and beat Thanos that way. But they're definitely whatever they do, they're not gonna win it in a fist fight. They're gonna have to outsmart them.
So the Soul Stone has everyone that dies in the universe in that location.
Yep.
So why was Gamora alone? Why couldn't it have been like this unlimited number of like trillions upon trillions of people in there?
I don't know, but what I do know is the Russo brothers said they did that on purpose. Like, notice how the background is like yellowish. They wanted to let the audience know that he was inside of the Soul Stone. So I don't know. Okay. I'm wondering if Ant-Man can get tiny enough where he can actually enter into the Soul Stone without dying. If he could bring Iron Man with him, that probably might happen.
Oh, that would be epic. That's such a sweet idea. I really like that idea.
So maybe they travel into the Soul Storm, like you know how the Magic School Bus travels inside of people's bodies.
Yeah. or you know what actually that reminds me of back when I was in high school. On the Cartoon Network show, we used to watch Dragon Ball Z, and during the Majin Buu saga, Vegeta and Goku were able to like go down to the quantum level and actually go into Boo's body and like mess with him down there, like inside his cells and stuff. And I don't know why that jogged that memory of mine, but it did. So that'd be pretty epic. But the thing is, I never really liked that show. It's not like, it's just
Yeah,
that's all that
I'm
was on
not really
TV.
with a Dragon Ball Z fan myself per se, but I mean, those are some directions they could go in. Um, Whether they go in it or not, I don't know. I just really hope they don't mess this up because with the my thing was number one, like yeah, the Hulk was really they nerfed him. They nerfed the Hulk because I guess he was too powerful. Um, but also like really, if they really wanted to defeat Thanos, all they really need to do is get like Dormammu or in Thor Ragnarok, that guy who actually destroyed Asgard. Maybe he might be dead. But like it seems like all the powerful like villains from the past, they really are dead for good. So like they can't even go back and say, "Hey, Dormammu, help us out. Hey, such and such, help us out," because like you killed them all.
Yeah. What about Hulk? In Age of Ultron, that city fight because that witch did something to him. What's her
Oh,
name? The
Scarlet
one.
Witch.
Yeah, she
Yeah, so
made him
Scarlet
go
Witch
into like a
is
rage.
yeah, Scarlet Witch is a good guy now.
Right. So if Hulk was in that mode of rage, how would he fare against Thanos?
Thanos could just turn him into like some ribbons or something like that. Like,
No, before I meant at the start of the film, like that
oh yeah,
version
yeah,
of
yeah.
Thanos.
Well, yeah, Thanos probably would have like, let's say, like the stakes were different, and Thanos had what's her name? He had Natasha, Black Widow. He had Black Widow in his grasp or something like that. Yeah, Hulk probably would have killed him. He probably would have ripped his head off because you do see in the beginning, like when Thanos was taken off guard, he was struggling a bit, and then he has to maintain his composure, gather up his strength, and then he beats up Hulk. But
Yeah.
like the thing that was on his side is Thanos is like he's a warrior. So he's a trained fighter. The Hulk is just like brute rage. But in the comics, is different. In the comics, Thanos actually says the Hulk is one of the people in the universe who he doesn't want to have to fight.
Because Hulk potentially is a threat because Hulk's anger, the more angry he gets, the more
The stronger.
exponentially his mutation takes place and hence stronger. And,
Yep.
right. And obviously,
So,
if Black Widow was killed, I think Hulk would just explode.
yeah.
Uh,
So,
but that's
but
but that's what I'm getting at. That's what was needed. Like, for example, when Bruce Banner was in that suit in that big fight at the end, and then when all those creatures were ripping apart his suit, I was literally expecting Hulk to just burst out of that.
nope, didn't
But
happen.
Bruce Banner's life was at stake right throughout.
Yeah, I don't like how they just nerfed him, and then they nerfed Vision, they nerfed Scarlet Witch sort of
Oh
because
my
Scarlet Witch,
gosh,
she,
Vision was so weak.
yeah,
Here's a guy that's able to just fly through stuff. Like in Civil War, he was flying through that giant Ant-Man. And
mm,
especially in Age of Ultron, when you see Vision appear for the first time, everyone is freaked out. Like they don't even know what, and there's a sense of like, you know, like now what sort of
That's
thing.
kind of when I
Because
stopped liking Marvel, honestly, after that movie.
what Ultron, the
Yeah, I
movie
was just kind
Ultron.
of like, okay, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, so here I'm looking at this going, okay, Vision is top notch. Then Civil War, you have which she's able to overpower uh Vision. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well that's convenient. And now Vision is just this. He's like, even Hulk is not as weak as.
Yeah, they made Vision so weak. It was bad. And I don't like how they did Tony. I really don't like how they did Tony. I mean, like that fight, like if he would have lasted for just a minute longer, I would have been content. But I mean, like the way he just
And
got
hang on a
stabbed like
second.
that, it was like, my God.
Oh yeah, that would have killed him. I mean, that the way he was stabbed with that was pretty gruesome. But Vision, is he just a robot?
Yeah, he's a robot with feelings, and also for the record,
Wait.
Vision.
Then how is a robot able to fly
Well,
through objects?
well, he's not a robot.
Vision is gone.
Vision is a combination of a human body with a robot brain, or with somebody help me out here. He
I don't
Vision
know.
is a human body with
What the
the
hell?
feelings and emotions of
Because here I was thinking in Ultron he was some literally an out of space alien thing that was
No,
created.
I
remember,
told you,
remember,
he's
remember
gone.
Ultron. So remember in Civil War, they were fighting to get the body. That was a body, and Ultron was trying to upload his consciousness to that body. So Ultron is the consciousness of Bruce Banner, Tony Stark, and Jarvis.
That sounds awful.
Wait. Ultron is?
No, Vision.
No, okay, yeah, that makes sense because Vision, because
But
that's what
remember,
they described.
Ultron's plan was he was going to upload his consciousness into
Can I
that
read
body.
this?
So
Can I read this?
Hmm?
Can I
So
read
so
this?
when
Hold
when
up, wait,
Thanos
wait. I'm gonna tell
So
you what
when
Vision
Thanos
is.
takes
I wanted to tell you what
because
Vision is.
because when Thanos takes the stone out of Vision's head, you see circuitry in his head, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, so he's just a Terminator.
Can I read this real quick? What Vision is?
Yeah.
I just looked it up. It says Vision was an android who possessed a synthetic
There you
vibranium
go,
body.
Android.
Okay, was a synthetic vibranium body created by Ultron and Helen Cho, along with the powerful gem known as the Mind Stone. Originally conceived as the perfect form of Ultron, the body was stolen by the Avengers, after which it was repurposed by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, who uploaded the remnants of Stark's personal AI, Jarvis, into it. Upon his birth, Vision declared he was a mixture of Ultron and Jarvis, one that would fight to protect humanity at all costs. Vision then joined the Avengers in the Battle of Sokovia, whatever, however you say it, using his powers to prevent Ultron from transferring his consciousness into the internet and allowing the Avengers to successfully put an end to him. So that's what he is.
So vibranium body is in the equivalent to the X-Men universe's adamantium. So, which is basically vibranium is the element that Tony Stark creates in the lab in Iron Man 2.
Yep.
No.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, that's something else.
Owners. Oh God. What in the world? Gosh, that
Wait,
ad
what?
scared the crap out of me just now. Sorry, an ad just scared the mess out of me.
Okay.
Owners: Howard Stark, formerly Strategic Scientific, formerly Captain America, Shield, Ulysses Claw, Ultron, Vision.
No. Wait. So vibranium is adamantium. Basically, Captain America's shield is also vibranium.
Yep.
So vibranium is practically indestructible. So how the hell can Vision get hurt?
Wasn't it by Thor? Or not Thor? What the crap's name? Thanos with the other Infinity Stones.
No.
Yeah, so Thanos.
In Europe, how the hell in Europe can those stupid elf creatures, like literally, like this woman elf?
Oh, stabbing them.
Yeah.
What
He's vibranium. He can't be stabbed.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because then that means Captain America's shield can break.
Didn't it though?
No.
Wait, in Infinity Wars though, he has two new shields. What happened to his other one?
Remember, he gave it back to Tony.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happened. I thought I got like hit by something.
No. Nope.
I'm making
So
this worse for you guys, aren't I?
Wait, wasn't Thor's
No.
hammer also?
I'm so glad that this is live because this is just going to be this epic, like, here's some
Leave it to
Australian
freaking-
physicist guy that's just debunking Marvel
hold on.
Cinematic Universe.
Wait. Is that dog alive? Please tell me that dog is alive.
Nah, he's dead.
Dog's alive.
That's a lie.
Hey, puppy,
So-
puppy. Hey, Rob, do your little puppy thing that you did in my dog to make the ears go up.
He's slumped.
He is out.
He's done.
I thought that was-
Steven.
All your Marvel talk is killing him.
Yeah, I'm already dead. I'm not even here.
Okay,
man.
so
But look, so what happened was, all right, I'll
Cute
give
dog,
you a
though.
really good, I'll give you a really good example. So remember Black Panther's suit?
Oh,
It's not that. So Black Panther suit can disperse kinetic energy across the troop because like, well, Jen, you know, energy isn't destroyed, energy is just converted. So
yeah,
what's his name? Vision doesn't have a suit like that. He just has he has a body. And
he has the
so
Mind
when-
Stone.
yeah, but Hunter just read that he's an android that's coated. His entire body, every inch of it is coated vibranium, which means if he
Yeah,
has an
so-
outer layer of vibranium, he's indestructible.
So what happened was when he got stabbed, remember he said, I can't phase. So whatever device he got stabbed with, it was so technologically advanced that it caused him to not be able to phase through it.
Well, even if he can't phase, that object should not be able to penetrate and crack vibranium.
Wait. It says vibranium, also known as what the crap? ISIPHO, is nearly indestructible element that crash landed from outer space millennia ago into the African region that would become Wakanda forever.
So then, the same weapons, the same staff weapons, that was used on Vision to then stab him, were also used on Captain America's shield, or like the materials that were used at the end fight, the big epic fight that happened at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, Black Panther's suit has also got vibranium on it.
Mm-hmm.
So why wasn't Black Panther stabbed?
I don't know.
Because it's a movie, man. It's a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, how come in the beginning George just couldn't use like his thunder power to just kill everybody? He didn't. I don't know.
You would think that Vision, when he gets jumped on by the thugs in Europe, that he would just pick
By
up
the way, we
pick up
need
the witch and
probably-
just fly away like Superman.
I just realized something, y'all. We're live and we're probably ruining this movie for somebody.
No,
Yeah,
no,
well,
no.
I'm happy.
Shut your
my
mouth.
mission in life is to refute this Marvel rubbish.
You suck.
The only
Spoilers
Marvel
tonight.
films I like are the Iron Man films. That's it.
I hate you.
Well, another thing to add, is Vision was targeted because he had one of the Infinity Stones in his head. Black Panther wasn't.
Fine. Vision should have just flown away.
Yeah,
I
true.
think
Thanos can't
if Scarlet
fly.
Witch would if Scarlet Witch would have just killed them in the beginning, like we would like they would not have gone through all of that. Like she was like, no, we're not gonna kill you. And then what's her name? Black Widow was like, Vision, get back on the table. Like they should have just killed him. Like he's not like kill him. Like destroy
Actually,
the
that's a
stone.
good question. And unhide Hunter. This is a question I have for Hunter. Okay, Hunter. Can Thanos fly?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can Thanos fly like Vision?
Possibly. I think so. I think he just has the ability to. Whether or not he actually, well, I mean, if he has the Infinity Gauntlet, not on his own, I don't think, but if he
Okay.
But with the Infinity
Why
Stones, I'm
couldn't
sure they
Vision
can.
just float, like, go in between Earth and the moon, like just go like Superman, just fly out of the Earth's atmosphere, just fly near the sun, for goodness sake. Just go out there and far away from Thanos, so Thanos doesn't have to come to Earth and do what he does. And he would not be able to catch Vision because he can't fly.
Well, two things. One, Thanos had the other Infinity Stones, so he literally could have that. I mean, just him flying away, that wouldn't have stopped anything.
No, but he wouldn't. But he wouldn't have to be in Thanos's, like, before Thanos even arrived. So he had like 2-3 days worth of time to just go and piss off, just fly away, just hide somewhere.
He didn't. Well, remember, he didn't even know that Thanos was originally coming for him. That's how he got stabbed. And remember, that led to them going to Wakanda.
Which
To try
means
to get.
well, technically he shouldn't have been got stabbed because of the whole his body being coated with like near indestructible metal.
A little tongue twisted there, huh?
Yeah.
And also, if you realize him getting hurt led to him going to Wakanda in order to get the gemstone out of him in the first place, and then that's where the entire battle went down. And the fight got brought to him, and then he had to go and fight. And then he ended up dying, and then his girlfriend tried to kill him, but the time gem wouldn't allow that. So it pretty much it was a surprise attack on Vision. So that kind of led to everything that happened to Vision. So no matter what you had, Thanos had the upper hand. He had the element of surprise. So that's why he couldn't just go up and fly away.
When Doctor Strange says to Tony Stark, "This is the end game," because apparently there's only one outcome that this thing could have played out, and where they win means when Thanos gets all 6 stones, it's basically, it was inevitable. That had to have happened regardless, right?
Yep.
Right.
Even he said that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, Jen, think of Christian theology when we say, well, how come this happened? How come God let that happen? And we say,
That's what I
well,
was just
because it was
thinking.
the best possible way for it to happen.
Yeah, I'm not hating on that. I just want clarification on if Doctor Strange was pretty much
Why didn't he do
keeping
this?
it
Oh, why
secret.
didn't he do that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's just God's way. I don't know. Why didn't he do
Because
that? I don't know.
Thanos
remember in the beginning, he
most
says,
Why don't
if
you
it
read your
comes,
comic book?
inefficient fighter ever.
You know what? Maybe if you read your comic books, you wouldn't have this. You wouldn't be answering.
He could have made the entire universe into spaghetti strings.
Well,
If that's
actually, I wonder because I don't think reality changes reality. I think it just changes your perception of reality.
yeah, because
no,
remember
it
when he
changes
leaves,
reality because that blue robot woman wouldn't have suffered if she wasn't.
no, so the reality stone is red. You're talking about the space stone. So that stone allows him to teleport and go to open up portals.
But hold on, when he was torturing his daughter, what mechanism was he using in order to torture his daughter? Was it
The space stone and the reality stone blew it up.
both of them together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I do remember when before Thanos made the two people spaghetti noodles, remember he made the reality look like nothing had happened, that he actually got stabbed and all that stuff, and then it turns out it was just a figment of her imagination kind of thing by using the reality stone. So I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if the reality stone changes your perception of. Well, let me just look. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. It's like I got the whole internet on my hands.
Yeah, if only Star-Lord didn't, because they nearly got the glove off.
Yeah, you can thank Star-Lord for that.
What'd you say?
In the movie, they nearly got the glove off, and Star-Lord chucked a sad over Gamora's death, and yeah. I don't know if you remember that scene.
Tesseract, the Space Stone. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Sorry, I just realized the Reality Stone is when when the Thor's earthly girlfriend got in contact with it. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Wait. Okay, hold on. I'm just reading. What the crap? It just tells me how it was. Hang on. I'm still looking. Oh, that's weird. Wait, do the stones spell out Thanos?
Yes, they
I'll
do.
be right back.
No, it does not. Because I just looked. Where's there a P in Thanos for the Power Stone? Or is there an R?
Well,
I just randomly saw that. It was like, and do the stones really spell out Thanos? Question mark. This is a weird one that was popularized over the Age of Ultron, Premier Weekends, physically.
You can make the acronym sort of work, but
No, stop trying to fit it in. It doesn't work.
Sort of. You can whatever.
No, that's like trying to put in your own mindset of what Scripture says. It doesn't work.
It does sometimes.
No, it doesn't work.
Every interpretation of Scripture is a man-made human interpretation. So there you go.
Yeah, but it still doesn't work.
It's relative.
No, that's not true. What the crap? I'm trying to look for Marvel's master plan. Let's look at this. Oh, that's what I was just on. Good grief. Infinity Gems. Okay, let's hope to God Wikipedia has something worthwhile. Holy crap. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. That's weird. The Soul Gem was originally green. And the Time Gem was originally orange. That's ironic. That's weird. Oh, wait. Where is... Okay, reality. Here we go. Allows the user to fulfill their wishes, even if the wish is in direct contradiction with scientific laws, and do things that would normally be impossible, and create any type of alternate reality the user wishes at full potential. When backed by the other gems, the reality gem allows the user to alter reality on a universal scale. So it does do what I said it did, and create any type of alternate reality the user wishes. But at full potential, that's when the reality gem allows the user to alter reality. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Hold on, I read that wrong. Okay, so if all the gems are used together, the reality stone can alter reality at a universal scale, but by itself, it alters reality as the user wishes. Okay. So it can't alter reality, like not just like, give it some weird like perception of reality, but it actually changes it. So I didn't know that, and I just realized I'm the only one talking. Okay, well, forget you.
Well, I mean, to be honest, Thanos really didn't need the glove if he wanted to kill most of the Avengers. I mean, he really didn't need it. He's a powerful guy even without the glove.
Yet he was getting his butt kicked. And he couldn't, because look at what he did with Thor at the end there. So. Wait. Wait, are you still there?
Yep, and everybody loved. Like, what do we have? Like a phone quake or something?
That happened to me earlier. Like I got taken out, and then it said there was an error. So I don't know.
Weird.
There's been like a bug going around because that's been happening to people. So, but I'm gonna head out myself too. So
Yeah, I'm gonna head out too. It was nice talking to you guys. I haven't spoken to you guys in a minute, but good catching up. I'll
by
see
the
you
way,
guys when I've been.
wait. How'd you feel about Philly and Boston tonight?
I didn't even see it. What? Oh my God! What was the outcome?
I guess you're gonna have to go look and find out yourself. You're not a
I'm
real
gonna do
fan.
that. I'll see you. I'll see you when Avengers 4 comes out.
All right, sounds like a plan, fam. All right, I'll see you later.
All right.